Welcome to Tai Chi. Everybody ready? Let's warm up. Hands at your waist, turn your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Stretch your neck. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Expand your chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Waist exercise. Interlock your fingers. Keep your arms closer to your ear as you turn your hips and waist to look at the heel of your opposite foot. 7, 8, 9, 10. Airplane. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Touch toe. 1. The same way you go down is the same way you go up, which means to touch your thighs, your knees, and your legs. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your hips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Be careful. Shift your weight to the left. Remember where your center of gravity is. Concentrate. Kick your foot, right foot. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift your weight to the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Kick your butt. Shift weight. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Turn your knees. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Other way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Heisman, opening up your span, parallel feet. Choose the right side. Weight down, cross, and sit on the right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Shift weight to the left, cross. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Short 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Other way, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Good golden cockle, remembering our good Tai Chi posture, dropping those shoulders, tucking your butt. What else? It should just come naturally to you. Chin down, head erect, sunken shoulders, dropping your shoulders and sunken chest, okay? And we know that we're gonna have movement, so we're gonna open up our span. We're growing a little taller through the spine. Everybody can improve their posture by growing slightly taller through your spine, okay? But not lifting those shoulders. We're gonna shift our weight to the left, making sure that our left hand crosses our body and pushes down, while the other hand comes to the center to help us with counterbalance. Here we go. Shift your weight to the left, center, counterbalance, push up, push down. Shift weight, you're on your cable, spin on it slightly to the left, to the right, spin slightly to the left. Bring that leg in closer to your center for better balance. What else can we improve on? Can we wear a pair of mittens? Think about that. Can you show me with your hands and fingers how you can wear a pair of mittens as you do Tai Chi? Not a pair of gloves, but a pair of mittens. Okay, I'm going to turn around, continue. Do you have your mittens on? The thumb should be away from the other 4 fingers. When you come up, make sure you're spinning on your axle or cable. You're turning slightly and rotating. That gives you better balance. One more last set. 1, 2. Resting, 2 feet on the ground, 50-50. Gathering our energy, right foot comes up, right hand on the outside. Follow the kick with your eyes and your hand. Don't forget to rotate on your cable. Shift weight, gather across, center and out. Last one. Holding our ball on a T stance, root down on the back, hold the size, check the size of your ball. T stance, out and to the side, move that ball. L stance, O stance. Sit back and lower on that stool, pivot. T stance, hold your ball, bring your arms in, out on an L. Part the wild horse's mane, get a good stretch. Sit back and lower, pivot, root down, T and ball, L and ball, O stance. Sit back and lower, pivot, root down on a ball, out on an L. Where's your bow? Where's your arrow? Sit back and lower, pivot, root down, center with a ball, out and to the side. Part the wild horse's mane. Get a good stretch. Sit back and lower, pivot, center and balance with the ball, out on an L. Part the wild horse's mane. Listen carefully. Sit back, twist step, parallel and higher. We're going to multitask to brush our knee. Are your hands like mine? Out on an L, ear, hand down, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back and lower, pivot, parallel higher on a T. All together, ear, hand, heel, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, lower, twist step, center with the parallel and higher on a T, all together, multitask to brush your knee. Don't forget to wear your mittens, twist step, T stance. Don't forget the hands, go for the ride, because we know that by twisting and turning our hips and waist, our hands will get to where we want them to brush our knee. Can you make sure that you go slowly and feel that sensation where your hips and waist are driving your movement? They're steering you to the appropriate final area. That's what we mean when we say if the hands are set up correctly, our hips and waist are warmed up, we will have an easier time remembering how to do our movements. With everybody trying their very best in this large group, all that positive energy is all around us. In doing this, another sensation is right now where you drop your shoulder. If you drop your shoulder and obey gravity, you are in a balanced position. No one can push you down. You are rooted. You are obeying gravity. Holding your ball on a T stance, we're going to part the wild horse's mane out and to the side. No different. Our feet takes the same stances. In doing our warm-ups now, we're getting better. The flow of energy is progressing in a nice way. We are not only getting stronger by holding our body weight, we're learning about our body. And we're getting a lot of relaxation. Parallel higher, ear, heel, hand, turn, hips and waist, brush knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, parallel higher, all together. Hands go for the ride. So as you can see, our feet are on auto. They do the same thing. But if we turn our hips and waists and set up our hands, we have another movement. We have brush knee, final brush knee, as if we're brushing our knee. The other one is holding your ball. You're going to part the wild horse's mane. You're going up your horse's mane and parting his furry mane. Today I want to teach you yet a third movement that has to do with the same feet alignment. It is called warding off. Hold your ball, listen and do it. You're going to ward off your opponent. Out on an L, you're going to forearm him, push him away. You're going to slightly pause. You're going to turn your hips and waists. What happens when you turn your hips and waists? The left hand moved out, the right hand moved towards it. You're going to flip the forward hand so that the palm is away, and you're going to move your right hand so that the palm is looking at you or facing your body. You're on a bow stance. All you're going to do now is don't worry about your hands. The movement is controlled by your hips and waists and shifting of weight. You're going to sit back on the back foot. Turn at the hips and waists. Look back. Contact. That means touch your wrists. Turn your waist again. Flatten out the foot. Push forward. Separate your hands. Roll back. Do not pull your hands back. Push forward through the shifting of your weight. Hands go out. Sit back, lower and sit down. Pivot. Hold your ball on a T stance, right hand on the bottom, right foot ready to go. We're taking an L, we're pushing our opponent away, giving him that forearm. Turning our hips and waists, repositioning our hands, staggering them. We're on a bow stance. How do we get back? We do not move our hands. We shift our weight to the back on the heel of our front foot. Turn at the hips and waists. Contact on our wrist. Our hips and waists are not centered. Turn at the hips and waists. Do not move your hands. Push from the center of your body. Separate those hands wearing your mittens. Rolling back and sitting down. The hands go down. Unflexing that back knee. Pushing out. Sit back, lower, pivot, holding your ball on a tee. Out and to the side, push him away. Hands go for the ride as you extend. Turn hips and waists. Reposition your hands. Sit down. Turn at the hips and waists. Look back. Contact. Turn at the hips and waists. Center, push out. Separate. Wear those mittens. Sit down. Unflex the back knee. Push out. Twist step. T stance. L stance. Push them away. Turn hips and waists. Reposition. Grasp the bird's tail. Look back. Contact. Turn at the hips and waists. Push out from the center. Roll back. Spiral forward. Sit down, twist step, holding your ball, out and to the side, push them away. What? Turn hips and waists, grasp the bird's tail. Contact. What? Turn, push. Sit down. Spiral forward. No words. hold your ball and pause. Okay, I'm going to turn around, show me your pause. Okay, good, very good. Okay, your turn to watch me. When you watch me now, try to recall what my key words were when we were practicing and doing our routine, and then I'll put it together for you, okay? One more time with words. Hold your ball in the T stance, L stance, ward off. Push your opponent using your forearms. Turn your hips and waists, reposition your hands. Sit down. Turn at the hips and waists, look back, contact. Turn at your hips and waists, push from the center. Wear your mittens. Center with a ball and a T. Bring your arms in. Out on an L, move that ball. Push them away. How do you push them away? Use your core. How do you get back out to grasp the bird's tail? Turn at my hips and waists. What do? Move my hands? No. I turn my hips and waists, reposition my hands. Staggered hands, palm facing the floor, one facing your body. You're in a bow stance. How do you get back there? Turn at the hips and waists. Contact. Turn at the hips and waists. Push out that energy. So if you are watching and understanding and doing it like I want you to do, you would not see me doing this. Okay? Why wouldn't you be seeing me do this? Okay, watch now. This is forearming him away. My hips stayed the same in the same position. My hands were leading my movement, which is incorrect, okay? So don't place the emphasis on your hands. Just say to yourself, Tai Chi takes care of that. The hands go for the ride. I need to use my body, my mind, my core, my hips and waists. They are the ones that drive or steer my body. Let's see if this is a better way to show you. How do I get out to the left to grasp the bird's tail? I do not use my hands to grasp the bird's tail this way. I do use forearm. I want to get to my left. I turn my hips and waists. I turn my hips and waists. Reposition my hands. How do I get back now? Do I just swing it back? No, we said our hips and waists and our mind drives our force. This is my contact. How do I get to the middle? I turn my hips and waists. How do I then separate my hands? I use my core, my mind to push out that energy to get to a bow stance, wearing my mittens. I sit down. Once I sit down and drop my shoulders, my hands go with me. How do I get back up there? Do I just go like that? No. I release that energy on my back foot and I extend. Can we try that before we forget? Okay, here we go. T stance, holding your ball. Out and to the side, move that ball, push your opponent away. Turn your hips and waist, reposition your hands. Sit down. Turn at the hips and waist, look back. Contact. Turn again at the hips and waist, push out from the center of your body. Separate your hands, roll back and sit down. Unflex the back knee, push out. Sit down, twist. Holding your ball on a T stance. Out on an L, push the guy away. Turn the hips and waist, reposition your hands, sit down, look back, turn at the hips and waist, contact, turn at the hips and waist to get to the center to push out, separate and roll back, sit down, unflex, power out. Twist step, T stance, L stance, O stance. Turn at the hips and waist, grasp the bird's tail, sit down. Turn at the hips and waist, contact. Turn at the hips and waist, push out from the center. Separate your hands, roll back, sit down. Unflex, power forward. Sit down, twist. Round it out, root down, T and ball. L and ball, push your opponent away. Turn hips and waist, reposition hands. Grasp the bird's tail, look back. Turn at the hips and waist, contact. Turn at the hips and waist, push out. Separate and roll back. And power forward. Hold your ball and pause. Okay, watch me. Put your hands down. Sit back, twist step, holding your ball on a T, L stance, push your opponent away. Turn your hips and waist, reposition hands, sit down. Turn at the hips and waist to look back. Contact, turn at the hips and waist, Center of the body, push that energy out. Wear your mittens. Root down, T and ball, L and ball, L stance, bow stance. Turn hips and waist. Sit down, look back, turn at the hips and waist. Contact, turn at the hips and waist, push out. Power forward, okay? So on and so forth. Do you have a better understanding of what Tai Chi is now, okay? Yeah? So on and on it goes, not for just 3 of those movements, brush knee, parting of the horse's mane, and grasping of the bird's tail, but everything that we do, starting with commencing form. Okay, let's see how that happens. First movement, commencing form. Second, repulsing of the monkey. Third, brush knee, parting the wild horse's mane, and cloud hand, so on and so forth. Okay, so our goal, our task now is to see how our hands go for the ride and how our mind and our body, especially our hips and waist, steer our movements, guide our movements rather than purely a hand motion, okay, which Tai Chi is not. Yes, we agree? We know what our assignment is, yeah? All right. Good. I like to see a smile. All right. Good Tai Chi posture. Dropping those shoulders, tucking your butt, concaving your chest, chin slightly down, head straight up, grow a little taller. We're suspended by that silver thread that balances us from the middle of our skull to our middle of our chest to 2 inches below our navel. All our Danten points. Commencing form. Shift weight to the right, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, off the ground. Toe, sole, arch, heel. Rotate. Think through where your mittens. Drop that water without pulling up your shoulders. Shoulder level. How are you going to get down? Drop your shoulders, wrists, and elbows. Flex your knees. Hands go for the ride. Center the left hand. Right hand rises up higher, both open to the ceiling. As you glance to bring the back hand to your ear. Turn your hips and waist to meet both hands in the middle. Slide forward, slide back as you repulse the monkey. Center, rise the left hand higher, glance. Bring it to the ear. Turn your hips and waist and neck. Meet hands in the middle, repulsing of the monkey. T stance, parallel and higher. We're going to multitask to brush our knee. First on a T stance, root down because that tells me you know where the power and energy is. Out into an L, move those hands, turn the hips and waist, brush your knee, bow stance. Sit back, lower, pivot, parallel higher on a T. All together. L, ear, down with your hand, turn hips and waist, brush knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, center with the ball on your T. We're going to part the wild horse's mane. Out and to the side. Here's your snack. Get a good stretch. Sit back, lower, pivot, center with the ball, out on an L, part the wild horse's mane. We're modifying our 10 form. Sit back, lower, twist step, hold your ball on the T step. We're going to grasp the bird's tail, but first ward off. Out on an L, move that ball, forearm your opponent by using your core. Turn the hips and waist, reposition hands, sit down. Turn at the hips and waist, look back, contact at the wrists. Turn the hips and waist, center of the body, push out that energy. Separate, wear your mittens, roll back. Unflex the back knee, power out. You do on one side, twist step, you do on the other. T stance, L stance, ward off. Turn hips and waist, reposition, sit down, sit back, look back, contact, turn at the hips and waist, center, push out, roll back, sit down, all over again. Okay, all over again, right? We're back at number 1, commencing form. Ready? 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, rotate. Take a deep breath in. Do not lift up your shoulders as you draw up that water, shoulder level. Drop your shoulders, flex your knees, elbows, wrists. Center, higher glance open. Watch it come in. Turn neck, acknowledge the center, push forward, pull back. Center, glance higher, open, ear, turn, use your hips and waist, meet in the center, repulse. T stance, parallel and higher. Out on an L, move that hand, move the energy, move your hips and waist, brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot. T stance, ground, root down, parallel, higher. L stance, move the hips and waist as you brush your knee. Sit back, lower, pivot, hold your ball on a T stance. We're going to part the wild horse's mane. Sit back and lower, pivot, T and ball, out into the side, part the wild horse's mane. We're modifying our movements. Sit back, sit down, holding our ball on a T stance. We're going to ward off. First, push your opponent. Turn your hips and waist, reposition your hands. Grasp the bird's tail. Look back, turn. Contact, turn again, push out. Separate and roll back. Sit down and unflex, power forward. Other side. T and ball. When you grasp the bird's tail, you have to first ward off. Turn hips and waist. Reposition, sit down, sit back. Use your hips and waist to turn. Contact. Use your hips and waist to turn to the front, to center and push out. Roll back. Sit down. And power forward. Sit down, sit back. Let's mix it up. Parallel higher. Ear, hand, heel, turn hips and waist. Brush knee. Sit back. Twist step. Parallel higher. Ear, heel, hand, turn hips and waist. Brush knee. Sit back. Twist step. Part the wild horse's mane. Out on an L. Here's your snack. Sit back. Sit down. Twist step. Hold your ball. Part the wild horse's mane. Sit back. Twist step. Hold your ball. We're going to grasp the bird's tail. First, take an L to ward off. Push them away. Turn hips and waist. Grasp the bird's tail. Look back. Contact. Turn at the hips and waist. Push out. Roll back. Sit down. Undo. Push Push them away. Turn hips and waist. Grasp the bird's tail. Turn at the hips and waist. Contact. Turn at the hips and waist. Push out. Roll back. And spiral forward. Sit back. Twist step parallel higher. We know how to multitask. Again. Again. All together. Again. You are looking like you're doing Tai Chi, whether you believe it or not. Again. Part the wild horse's mane, holding your ball. Again. And again. And not again, holding your ball. We're going to grasp the bird's tail. First ward off. Turn hips and waist. Sit down. Turn hips and waist. Contact. Turn hips and waist. Push out from the center. Roll back. Spiral forward. Sit back. Twist. Ball T. L push. Turn hips and waist. Grasp the bird's tail. Contact, turn, push, roll back. You say it to yourselves. One more time. Make it better. chest with a ball. Let me look at you. Okay, good. Relax. All right. How was that? Everybody's mellowed out. I can feel you. I can hear you. It's peaceful. It is Tai Chi. It's amazing. I keep on looking at this clock and I say, I wonder if I can push them some more, push them. We've been moving for 45 minutes. It feels great. We could hear the music. We could hear ourselves. We could be in our own privacy, but yet aware of the music, the street, the traffic, the wind, the fan. But all the time we're shifting our weight and moving in unison, continuously, rounding, thinking, balancing, pivoting, turning, stepping, shifting weight, all those nice, great benefits of Tai Chi. What a better exercise. We're perspiring, yeah, and we're a little bit drippy, but we're not exhausted. I want to say this is a real good testimony, validates why we feel so strongly about sharing what we know about Tai Chi. I'm almost tempted to say, you know what, you guys get emails from me all the time, but I never hear about you. Can you do something for me? Question mark, what is it? Send me an email. Tell me something. Tell me anything. Okay, tell me something. I hope that you can tell me that after 45 minutes and an hour of doing Tai Chi, tell me how you felt. Tell me how your day went. I want to hear, hear about you. I want to know you a little bit better. I can almost tell that you may not realize it, but you've energized yourself. You've gotten more vim, more charge within your system. You cleared out all those stresses, whatever you had on your mind, just by doing that movement constantly. And that's the power of Tai Chi, okay? The more you can give Tai Chi and practicing, the more you can build up and store that energy so that when you're needing it, it's right there for you. And nobody can give you a gift and plant it in your body. Something you take the initiative, self-motivation, self-generation, self-discovery, making your mind active and bringing something back to yourselves, okay? Because you're valuable, right?
Man, after that pep talk, how can you quit? No, but really, seriously, I pretty much believe what she says, okay? It's something which we found valuable as persons, and she took it upon herself to say, I'm going to try to teach this, which is great. I support her all the way. Now I'm going to get back to nitty-gritty, okay? Tai Chi is obviously approached by some 50 different ways in this room, okay? Some people are enthralled with, where are my hands going? Some people are talking about, what's my balance? Each of you will approach it differently, but yet, like she tries to emphasize, it's trying to get your whole body involved, not just the hands in the right place, but where your body is taking you as a whole, okay? Some of the things that, because we have different people approach it differently, I'm just going to put out concepts so that you can practice. And you pick whatever one you want. All of us can improve in all of those phases. One is the Tai Chi brand that we do, Yang style. It tends to be a steady movement. There's not any changes in pace. Everything goes at about the same rate. And most, if not all, of Tai Chi deals with circles and spirals. Depending on how far you are, how good you are with your body, you can apply some of these spirals and circles. At the beginning, she just says, get your hand to your ear, so it becomes rather mechanical. You're sort of trying to get to the spot, so to speak. And I always bring back this analogy. In kid games or kid booklets, you see, find the picture, and you see a whole bunch of dots, and it's numbered or lettered, and you just connect all the dots. And when you first connect all the dots, you finally get the concept of what the overall picture is. But is it really a nice formed picture? Probably not. It's rather angular. You got one spot, one spot, one spot. Ultimately, what you want to have is a picture which is nice and rounded and looks as if your eyes were looking at it in a natural way, not a stick thing. Same thing with Tai Chi. She will teach you where to put your hands at a given moment, where your body position should be. And in regards to the circular or the spiral relationships of Tai Chi, your job is to get first, know where your hands are approximate to go, but then after a while it becomes a smooth kind of movement, rounded. But some different people can take a different, all the 10 movements, you can break them up into, say, where are the spirals, where are the circles? Some people will just say, well, I'm going to hold my ball. Well, everybody knows the ball is like so, right? But as we do it, sometimes when we do our ball, this part of the ball appears, and this part is sort of waiting for, hey, where's the other bottom? Where's the bottom of the ball? The idea is when when you're going to hold your ball, both extremities are moving. Okay? Go out, or you're going to do whatever you're going to do. But when you're out here, what happens? Doesn't come like this. But because we're thinking so much of other things, sometimes we're out here, this part of the ball comes, oh yeah, I got to put my feet here. But you forgot that the ball should be coming in also. And the ball has a good function. It helps you centralize yourself. So if you only come with this, you're only centralizing half of the ball. You centralize, the ball is here. And what do we talk about? Tai Chi posture? The most important part is the center of gravity, the dantian. Then the other dantian are straight through the head, straight through the chest, they all line up. And that's for orientation of posture. But circles, so as you change from one position, whether it be parting the horse's grasping the bird's tail, coming here, and then you see both hands are coming to form the ball as I'm trying to get into the proper dantian position. Okay? Spirals. Spirals are all over the place, but I saw one thing which was very interesting to me, trying to teach brush knee. And everybody talks, well, brush knee is here. And brush knee is hand to the ear. But this teacher used another analogy, just like we said, parting of the horse's mane, grasping the bird's tail, just to give us a mental note. He used the term holding the fish. Holding the fish, as if a fish is here, you're holding the fish. But she teaches you at the beginning, rightfully so, hands to the chest, parallel and above, okay? But you're really holding the fish, because if you hold the fish and you hold it gently, what happens? You're not stuck here. You're here and your spiral comes out a heck of a lot softer. Hold the fish, turn. Huh? And I'm sure you folks see one spiral. Spiral comes up here, goes out, one spiral. Just think about what the other hand is doing. It's like an egg beater. One's going this way and the other's going that way. This one is doing this. This one is doing this. So you just have them out of phase to each other. But as a whole, or when two are done, it forms a complete. Okay, so I appeal to you to think about circles, think about spirals, and think about holding the fish so that you can make it a little softer.
So what can I say? I love this class. I love teaching Tai Chi. I hope you have that same feeling for Tai Chi. You know that we'll be gone next week, so no class. I hope that you can still keep that momentum. Practice some. We still have non-instructional, so come out to that if you want. Even though we won't be here. Can't say enough. Did a good job. Keep up the good work. And we'll see you next time. Okay.
Add it, roll it, put it in the oven for baby energy.